Good day, everyone. My name is Edeline Mendoza Rapas, and I am here to report the Curriculum Development Plan. So let's start with the introduction of curriculum. So let us think curriculum as a roadmap for learning. It's like a set of instructions or a guide that tells you what you'll be learning and how you'll learn it. So I have here the breakdown of the different meanings. Okay, so number one, curriculum is the crux of whole education process. Meaning, curriculum is a path. Ito yung daan. Meaning, the curriculum is the most important part of our education. Which is, sabi nga nila, it is the foundation on which everything is built. So, for example, in our school, di ba po, or di ba po kapag nagtuturo tayo, we need curriculum bago natin ma-establish lahat. So, later on, I will show you the example for you to be able to understand. Next, number two, the curriculum in a literal sense, a pathway toward a goals. So, think of it like a path leading to the destination. So, di ba dapat kapag pumupunta tayo or may daan tayo na gustong puntahan, dapat alam natin yung goals. The curriculum guides us towards specific learning goals. Dapat alam natin bakit ba tayo papunta doon. And number three, curriculum is the actually what happens during a course. Meaning, curriculum is an action, which is refers to the actual experiences you have habang ikaw ay natututo or habang ikaw ay nag-aaral. It includes everything from the lessons and activities to the assignments and to the assessments. And number four, curriculum also means a written description of what happens. Okay, so curriculum is a document. This is the formal plan for the course. It outlines what will be taught, how it will be taught, and how learning will be measured. So for short, or in short, the curriculum map or the curriculum is a map that guides the learning journey. It includes both the planned route and the actual experiences along the way. And next we have curriculum is an important element of education. Aims of education are reflected in the curriculum. In other words, the curriculum is determined by the aims of life and society. Aims of life and society are subject to constant change. So, as our goal in life and society evolve, diba? So, nagbabago. So, do the goals of education. So, the curriculum needs to adapt to those changes to remain relevant. So in essence, the curriculum is like a mirror which is show us our educational goals which are influenced by the ever-changing aims of life and our society. Sabi nga nila, it is a dynamic reflection of what we value and strive for education. Okay, so I have here the definition of curriculum. So, according to this, curriculum is a standard-based sequence of planned experiences where students practice and achieve proficiency in content and applied learning skills. So, curriculum is as a guide. Ito yung nagiging guide natin. So, meaning, the curriculum is the step-by-step plan based on educational standards. It lays out what students need to learn and experience they will have. Okay, the next one, curriculum is the central guide for all educators as to what is essential for teaching and learning so that every student has access to rigorous academic experiences. So, curriculum is the central guide for all educators. It's like, sabi nga, it's like a compass for teacher, showing them what is important to teach and how to do it effectively para mas lalong matuto ang mga bata. So I have here the components of curriculum. So number one, we have the set of contents, which is the set of contents talks about, or this is like the ingredients in a recipe. It includes all the topics, all the subjects that students will study. Okay? So number two, set of learning experiences. So yung set of learning experiences, those are the activities and tasks that help students understand and apply the content. It's like the hands-on practice or mga practical activities that reinforces learning. Okay, so next we have planned content or planned content. This is the organization information that teachers will present to students. It's like the script for the learning journey. And number 4, set of learning outcomes. Okay? So those are the goals or result of the learning process. Ano ba yung gusto mong makita? They show what students should be able to do or understand after completing those curriculum. So in summary, the curriculum is like a roadmap that guides teacher and students through a set of content, a set of experiences, planned lessons, and desired outcomes, which is ensure that all students have access to challenging and enriching academic opportunities. Dapat marunong tayong mag-adapt. Diba? Sabi nga, we need to adapt para mas maging relevant yung itinuturo natin sa ating mga estudyante. Okay? The next one we have, okay, I have here lots of definition of curriculum. So number 1, the term curriculum has been derived from a Latin word currere, which means a race course or a runway on which one's run to reach a goal. If the picture is the guide, the curriculum is the path. The curriculum is the total structure of ideas and also activities. And another definition of curriculum, it is a course, especially the course of study in the university according to the dictionary. Next, we have all the experiences of pupil which has undertaken in the guidance of the school, that is according kay Bland's Encyclopedia 1969. Next one, all educational ideas must find expression in curricula before we can tell whether they are daydreams or contribution to practice. Many educational ideas are not found wanting because they cannot be found at all. That is according kay Stenhouse 1980. Another definition, a curriculum is an attempt to communicate the essential principles and features of an educational proposal in such a form that it is open to critical scrutiny and capable of effective translation into practice. Next, according kay Kerr, 1968, defines curriculum as all the learning activities which are planned and guided by the school, whether they are carried out in the groups or individual, inside and outside the school. And according kay Cunningham, curriculum is a tool in hand artist, which is the artist is the teacher, to mold his material in accordance with the ideas in the school. So, napakadami ng definition natin ng curriculum and maaari tayong marami mapagkunan pa nito. So, I have here naman the different types of curriculum. So, let us break down the different types of curriculum in a simple way para mas lalo po natin maintindihan ano ba yung tinatawag nating curriculum, ano ba yung mga types nito. So, number 1, we have ideal or recommended. Pag sinabi natin ideal or recommended, appropriate curriculum for learners. Okay, ano ba pag sinabing ideal or recommended? This is like the dream plan of what should be taught and learned. It is the perfect scenario where everything goes according to plan. For example, imagine a perfect world where every student learns exactly what they need to succeed. Okay? Kailangan alam natin, ano ba yung ideal, ano ba yung recommended. Diba? So, number 2, we have intended, official, or written. So, prescribed by the government. Okay, this is the official plan that is documented and approved. It's like the blueprint, diba? Parang blueprint for the teacher should teach and students to learn. Example, think of a detailed lesson plan. For sure, kayo po gumagawa na rin ng mga lesson plan or napagdaanan natin lahat yan. Okay? For example, think a detailed lesson plan that outlines every topic and every activities for the school year. That is the intended, official, or written. Okay? So, number 3, we have, ayan, implemented, which is actual implementation or what the teacher teach in the school. So, this is the curriculum that is put into action in the classroom. It's like taking the plan from paper and making it a reality. For example, picture a teacher teaching a lesson based on the approved curriculum. Ano ba yung nakikita natin? Ano ba yung actual na implementation? Yun nga, sabi natin kanina, ang teacher ay tinuturo niya ano ba yung lesson na na-approve. Okay, so number 4, we have achieved or learned, which is result or what the students actually learned in school. So, this is what students actually learn and understand from the curriculum. It is yung knowledge and skills they take away from the lessons. For example, consider what a students can demonstrate or explain after completing a course. Dapat alam natin or na-assess natin ano ba yung alam na ng bata or ano yung natutunan nila from the teacher. Okay? And last one, we have, ayan, tested. Set of learning that is assessed in teacher-made curriculum references. Ayan. So, meaning, this is the part of curriculum that is measured through assessment and tests. It is like checking to see if the learning goals were met. Diba? Were met. Kailangan na-achieve ba ng bata yung gusto nating goal para sa kanya na matutunan. For example, think of a final exam or standardized test that evaluates how well students have mastered the material. Diba? In essence, those different types of curriculum show the journey from the ideal plan to what is actually taught. Okay, what is actually learned and tested in the classroom. So, each stages plays a crucial role in the education process. Diba? Akala natin, madali lang. From ideal, naisip lang natin, imagine natin. Pero, dapat marating natin hanggang dulo. Na-test ba natin yung kakayahan ng bata? Kaya ba natin na ma-pursue yung goals na gusto nating ma-attain ng mga bata? Okay? So, those are the different types of curriculum. So, another one, ayan, we have entitlement. What people or general society believe the learners should expect to learn. Okay, so this is like what students deserve to learn based on their educational rights. So it's the curriculum that ensures every student has access to quality education. For example, imagine a curriculum that guarantees all students receive a well-rounded education. Kasi every students have the rights na maka-receive ng education. Kaya lahat ay entitled na magkaroon ng education. Okay? So next one, we have supported. Reflect and shaped by the resources allocated to support or deliver. So this is the curriculum that is backed up by the resources. By the training, yan, lahat tayo dumadaan dyan. And also the guidance to help teachers effectively deliver the content. Kasi, kailangan magkaroon muna ng background knowledge ang teacher bago i-share sa mga estudyante yung dapat ma-achieve, diba? For example, think of a curriculum supported by the professional development for teachers and access to educational materials. Kasi pag meron tayong sapat na resources, sapat na kaalaman, mas madali natin na maibibigay sa bata yung gusto nating ma-attain ng bata. Diba? Okay? Next one. The null or censored. Various curriculum, content, or topics that must not be taught to students. Ayan. So, meaning, this is the curriculum that is restricted or limited in some way, either by censorship or omission for certain topics. For example, considered a curriculum where certain books are banned or topics are not allowed to be discussed. Kasi, di ba, may mga ganun kasi tayo na hindi lahat ay kailangang i-discuss. Kailangan, aalamin muna natin, makaka-apekto ba ito sa student? Or may makukuha ba dito yung students? Kailangan, as a teacher, we know the process. Alam natin kung kailan at alin ba yung hindi dapat at pwede natin ibigay sa estudyante na may matututunan siya. Okay? Next one, we have hidden. Various skills, knowledge, and attitudes that the students learn in school. Okay, yan. Hidden curriculum. This is the unspoken lessons and the values that students learn indirectly through the school, through the environment, through the interaction, and culture. Ito yung mga bagay na hindi tinuturo sa school pero natututunan nila. Okay, for example, ito yung mga behavior or the mga implicit messages students absorb about behavior, about social norms, about their attitude from their school experiences. Okay, so in simple terms, those types of curriculum highlight the rights and support students should receive in education. as well as the impact of restriction or hidden messages within the learning environment. Okay? Mapa-hidden man yan, mapa-entitlement man yan, dapat meron at meron pa rin matututunan ang mga estudyante. So, those are the different types of curriculum. Okay, next I have here the curriculum foundation. Those are the scholars and also the sources of curriculum foundation. So, yung scholars po talks about the contributors. So, I have here Tyler, 1949, Taba, 1962, Isner, 1985, Saylor, Alexander, and Lewis, 1981, Print, 1993, Sowell, 1996, Tanner and Tanner, 2007. Okay, those are the scholars na mayroong contribution, or they are the people behind curriculum foundation. So, meron naman tayo dito on our right side, the sources of curriculum foundation. So, number 1, studies of learners and learning theory, that is the psychology. Studies of life, sociology, and anthropology. Studies of nature and value of knowledge, philosophy. Ayan. So, those are the contributors and the sources na maaari natin pagkunan ng ating mga curriculum, or malaki yung naging ambag nila doon sa ating curriculum development plan. Okay, let's go on to... Ayan. So, in developing curriculum, you need a copy of CMO. Okay? So, ano ba pag sinabi nating CMO? CHED Memorandum Order, depending on the program for the guidance in plotting the following. Okay? So, bago tayo makapag-develop ng isang curriculum, kailangan muna natin ng CMO, the CHED Memorandum Order. So, number 1, kailangan meron tayong program description. Alam natin, ano ba yung program description natin na ilalagay? Number 2, ano ba yung classification of units? Ilang units ba per subject? And number 3, classification of courses. Ano-ano ba yung mga courses na ilalagay at dapat ma-attain ng estudyante? And number 4, curriculum structure. Gaano ba kalakas or katindi yung foundation natin? And number 5, curriculum map. Dapat hindi nawawala ang curriculum map. Okay? Kasi after ng curriculum planning, dapat ang susundan na nun is yung curriculum map per topic. Okay, let's go on to 5 important areas psychology can provide. So, kindly take a screenshot of this po for you to follow the sample curriculum map. Ayan. So, ano-ano ba yung sunod-sunod natin na important areas of psychology? Okay, number 1, objectives or educational, under niya po ang objectives. Ano ba po sinabi nating objectives? Ano ba yung goal natin? Or ano ba yung goal ng teacher or the school sa kanilang mga estudyante? Dapat malinaw. Dapat meron tayong 3. The cognitive, which is talks about the mind. The affective talks about the heart. And psychomotor talks about the application. Paano ba i-apply ng bata yung tinuro natin in reality? Okay? Number 2, we have student. Siyempre, sino ba yung tinuturuan ng mga teacher? Siyempre, yung student. Ano ba yung characteristic na dapat makuha ng mga estudyante? So, what is the characteristics we want to achieve for our students? Next, learning. Ano ba yung process? What is the step-by-step process of students to learn? Dapat malinaw yan. And 4, teaching. Ano ba yung methods? What is the techniques we apply? Ano ba yung strategies? Ano ba yung mga activities na mas maiintindihan ng bata yung topic? And next one, the evaluation or the procedures. Ito yung feedback that we want to get in students. Okay? Or in teacher or in the process. Nagtagumpay ba tayo? Nakuha ba natin yung objectives na inilagay natin? Yung 3 objectives na mahalaga? Nagawa ba natin to? Nakuha ba natin yung characteristic ng bata na gusto nating makuha? Yung process ba natin? Malinaw ba yung methods natin? Ano ba yung mga activities and assessment na ginawa natin para malaman natin na nagawa ng estudyante yung gusto nating maipagawa sa kanya? Okay, next we have the curriculum conceptions. Okay, number 1, academic rationalist conception, oldest among the curriculum conception, stresses the importance of different bodies of knowledge known as disciplines or subject areas as the focus of curriculum. So in summary, academic rationalist conception of curriculum places a strong emphasis on academic content. Pero hindi lang po siya academic content. Okay, intellectual rigor, structured learning experiences ng estudyante, and also the development of critical thinking skills to prepare students for academic achievements. Ano ba yung gusto nating hubugin sa bata? Okay? Number 2, cognitive processes conception. Seek to develop a receptor of cognitive skills that are applicable to a wide range of intellectual problems. So in essence, the cognitive process conception of curriculum centers on how students learn, how students think, and the process of information. It values individual learning styles. Kasi 'di ba, may iba't ibang way ang bata kung paano sila matututo. Yung metacognition nila. Okay, thinking about thinking, the application of knowledge, active learning strategies, and the development of critical thinking skills to foster meaningful and effective learning experiences. And next we have humanistic conception. Curriculum or education is an instrument for developing the full potential of individuals. So here, in essence of humanistic conception of curriculum, views education as a journey of personal growth, diba? Kailangan ma-discover mo, ano ba natutunan ko dito? Self-discovery, social responsibility, dapat marunong ka ding makisalamuha sa ibang tao. It values the individual learner, foster creativity and self-expression, and also encourages critical thinking about values, about ethics, social norms, social justice. Okay, next we have social reconstruction conception views the school or schooling as an agency for school or social change. Curriculum should respond to different needs, issues, problems, and demands of the society. So here, in essence of the social reconstruction conception, sees education as the force for social transformation, which is ang aim nito is to equip students with the knowledge, skills, and values to critically analyze the social problems, advocate for change, and work towards a more just, the equitable society. For short, paano ba makikisalamuha ang bata? Ano ba yung mga ways niya paano mas maganda yung pakikisalamuha niya sa ibang tao? Ano ba yung magandang advokasya para mabago yung mga attitudes na hindi maganda para sa kanya? And the next, technological conception, preoccupied with the development of means to achieve curriculum or educational goals. So the technological conception of curriculum integrates digital tools. Diba? Kasi technological na tayo ngayon medyo high-tech na tayo ngayon. Which is kailangan, meron na tayong mga online resources. Marami na tayong pagkukunan ng mga information. Dapat, we adapt learning. Diba? Adaptive learning, collaborative platforms, data-driven instruction, and professional development to enhance teaching and learning experiences. Diba? Kailangan, ang education ay hindi nagpapahuli. Kung ang mga bata ngayon ay magaling na sa mga gadgets, magaling na magpipindot, so dapat, ang education natin ay hindi din dapat nagpapaiwan. Okay? The next one, we have eclectic conception, where curriculum workers find themselves aligning their idea with 2 or more curriculum conceptions. So, in essence naman ng eclectic conception of curriculum, it is a pragmatic and adaptable approach that combines the best elements from different curriculum conceptions, which is allow for a dynamic and responsive learning environment that caters to diverse students' needs and promotes as well as rounded educational experiences. So, those are the curriculum conceptions. So, meron tayong mga curriculum sources. Diba? Meron tayong mga major sources of curriculum. Okay? So, number 1, nakikita natin dyan, we have subject matter, society, learners. Okay? Let's start with the subject matter. It is important to understand the nature of the subject matter in order to provide knowledge and skills that are essential to the nature of the discipline. It will help in selecting, designing curriculum content. Okay? So, later, explain ko po yan. Society. It is important to have a clear understanding of the nature of the society to provide more comprehensive idea of the needs, demands, and problems of the society and available resources that you'll utilize in development and implementation of the curriculum. And Number 3, learners. Understanding the learners includes knowing their interests, their learning style, and thinking styles. Kasi hindi lang dapat tayo nagpo-focus sa magaling. Kasi may mga estudyante tayo na kailangan na pag-focusan din kasi hindi sila nakakasabay doon sa kakayahan ng ibang tao. Kaya nga sabi nga, meron tayong iba't ibang learning style kung paano natututo ang mga estudyante. Ayan. So, discipline or subject matter as a source of curriculum. So, kanina lang, di ba, sabi natin, subject matter. So, different subjects are unique in terms of design and content. There are specific skills and content that should be emphasized in each discipline. The curriculum framework, curriculum goals, descriptions, standards, and competencies in different subjects will help educators understand what should be taught and how to teach the different subjects. Ayan. So, pag sinabi natin subject matter, ano ba yung ituturo natin? Dapat malinaw din sa bata, ano ba yung matututunan niya doon sa subject na yon? Okay? So, society as a source of curriculum. Society, di ba? Yung word na society, ibig sabihin yung mga tao. The values, the customs, the real world na kinakaharap or the real world issues na kinakaharap na maaaring maka-impluwensya sa students or sa estudyante kung paano sila natututo. Example, teaching students about cultural diversity, di ba? Iba-iba ang mga estudyante ng pinanggalingan or ikaw bilang isang teacher, alam mo dapat ano ba yung pinanggalingan ng bawat estudyante mo. Okay? Or yung environmental sustainability para ma-prepare natin ang mga bata for societal challenges. Kasi minsan mahirapan tayong makisalamuha or makisama sa ibang tao kasi sa pagkakaiba-iba natin. Iba't ibang opinion, pinanggalingan, tradition, culture. Yan, teachers need to understand the cultural, socioeconomic, and political conditions. Understanding the context is important in developing relevant and responsive curriculum. Science and technology continue to influence our everyday life as a new science finding, new technology, and new information come in almost every single minute of a day. Ayan, society. Kasi dati, diba, kung titingnan natin, paano ba nakikipag-communicate yung mga bata or tayo? Diba? Dati, dumadaan pa sila sa pasulat-sulat, bago pa makarating ang letter, buwan na. Ngayon, isang click mo lang, makakarating na agad yung message mo through Messenger. Diba? Napakaraming platform na meron na tayo ngayon, diba? Na maaring makapag-send ng mga messages. Kaya napakalaki ng impact ng society when it comes to our education. Ayan. Next, learners. Sabi nga, learners is a source of curriculum. Bakit? Okay, considering students' backgrounds, kailangan alam din natin yung interest nila, ano yung learning styles nila, para mas makuha natin yung educational needs nila. Example, adapting teaching methods for visual learners or incorporating hands-on activities for kinesthetic learners. Diba? In simple terms, curriculum sources come from the subject students study, the societal context that shapes their learning, and the individual characteristic of the learners to create effective, engaging educational experiences. So sabi nga dito, learners as a source of curriculum. As a student, come from different provinces. Yan. They have different culture, languages, learning style, needs, and types and levels of motivation. Yan. Sabi ko nga kanina, magkakaiba ang bata kung paano sila natututo. So, let's go on to reflection on curriculum planning. So, dito, imagine natin that you're planning on a trip to a new city. So, kailangan, i-consider natin ang number 1, knowledge about the learners. So, help us understand that curriculum must respond to the nature, to the needs, to the interests, learning style, and thinking preferences of every learner. So, knowledge about the learners. Understanding your travel companions, which is your travel companions is your student. And dapat alam mo kung ano yung kanilang kailangan. For example, are they interested in history? Gusto ba nila ng arts? Or gusto ba nila anong uri ng foods ang gusto nila? Do they have any special needs or preferences? Para mas makilala natin, di ba? Parang getting to know each other. Okay? Number 2, we have knowledge about the society. Helps us to realize that the curriculum must be made relevant and responsive to the needs and demands of the society. Okay, ano bang ibig sabihin nito? So, knowing the city's culture, dapat alam natin yung customs, ano ba yung potential challenges na maaari nating ma-encounter. For example, is the city safe? Yan, what are the local laws and customs? Diba, bago tayo pumunta sa isang lugar, ano ba yung mga dapat nating iwasan? Ano ba yung mga dapat hindi nating gawin? Are there any cultural events happening? Ano bang meron doon? Bakit tayo pumupunta? Okay? Next one, we have number 3, knowledge about the discipline or subject matter. Helps us understand the different discipline, subject matter, and academic. So, ibig sabihin, understanding the city's attraction, ano ba yung mga attraction na meron doon? Ano ba yung makukuha ko doon? Ano ba yung landmarks na dapat kong matandaan? And ano yung history ng lugar na yon? Diba? For example, what are the must-see places? What are the best ways to explore the city? Diba? Bago tayo pumupunta sa ibang lugar, naalam natin, ano ba yung best na pinupuntahan doon? Ano ba yung mga sikat na pagkain? Yan, para mahatak tayo, bakit tayo pupunta doon? Kasi in curriculum planning, reflecting on those 3 areas, the knowledge about the learners, the knowledge about the society, the knowledge about the discipline or subject matter, help us to create a successful and meaningful learning experiences for your student or for our student. Diba? Just like planning a trip, you need to consider who are your students. Diba? Knowledge about learners. What is the context of their learning? Diba? Knowledge about the society. What are the important concepts and skills they need to learn about the subject matter? Diba? By carefully reflecting those aspects, you can create a curriculum that is engaging, that is relevant, and effective for your students. Kailangan lagi tayong concerned sa ating mga estudyante. Kasi sino ba yung tinuturuan natin as a teacher? Diba? Yung mga estudyante, ano ba yung makukuha nila sa atin na knowledge na maaring ma-share nila throughout their educational journey? Okay, next we have, yan. So, meron tayong mga elements of curriculum. So, number 1, curriculum intent. This direction that the developers wish to take. Ano ba yung aims? Ano yung goals? Ano yung objectives? So, later on, ipapakita ko sa inyo yung example ng curriculum. Pero ito po ay curriculum map na. Okay? Number 2, content. Data of information. Number 3, learning experiences. Instructional strategies that are useful for the implementation. And number 4, the evaluation. Different ways or tools used for evaluating performance of the learners. So, ayan, okay. So, let's see the sample curriculum map for subject matter. Pero, take note po, bago kayo makapagawa ng curriculum map, ay kailangan makapag-develop muna kayo ng curriculum planning. Kailangan merong planning, ano-ano ba yung mga subjects na included, bago tayo mag-come up dito po sa curriculum map. Okay? Ang example ko po dito is TLE kasi ito po yung ginamit namin nung nagkaroon po kami ng inset training about K-10 matatag curriculum. Ayan. So, makikita po natin, we have topic or quarter. So, naka-indicate po dito, ano ba yung topic natin per quarter? So, for example, our first quarter topic is word processing software. Ano-ano ba yung ma-under or ano-ano ba yung magiging discussion namin doon? Page breaks, auto tablets of contents, mail merge, references. Ayan. So, ano-ano ba yung mga tatakel mo during that discussion of word processing software? Okay, the next one, we have the content standard and the performance standard. Okay, take note lang po na ito pong content standard at saka po performance standard ay hindi po dapat nababago. Ito po ay nakukuha sa references mo mismo. For example, sa amin po, content standard and performance standard ay nakukuha po namin sa teacher's guide po ng amin mismong subject. Okay? So, ang subject or content standard po ng TLE namin is the learner demonstrate an understanding of using productivity software. Samantalang yung performance standard namin, the learners perform the utilization of productivity tools in a safe and responsible manner. Okay? Next one, we have the learning competencies. Dito po, ayan. So, meron tayong mga under ng acquisition, make meaning, ayan, and transfer. So, doon po natin ika-categorize yung packing and unpacking. Doon po sa learning competencies. Packing and unpacking, yung sa tingin natin ay nagpapaulit-ulit lang ng objectives, okay? Pwede po nating i-merge yun para maging isa na lamang. Okay? So, next one, we have assessment and activities. So in the context po ng matatag curriculum, there is distinct differences between assessment and activities within the curriculum map. Okay? So assessment po, in curriculum map refers to the methods used to evaluate students' understanding and mastery of the learning objectives. So ano ba yung purpose ng ating assessment? It aims to measure students' progress para ma-identify natin ano ba yung areas of strength and weaknesses nila, and para ma-inform tayo and inform instructional decisions. For example, assessment may include tests, ano ba yung pwede tayong mga quizzes, pwedeng projects, pwedeng mga presentations, and other evaluation methods designed to gauge student knowledge and also their skills. So, ano ba yung outcomes na hinihintay natin dito sa assessment? Okay? So, ano yung outcomes? Yung result, which is help educators understand how well students are learning the material and whether adjustments to teaching methods or content are needed to enhance learning outcomes. Ayan. So, ano naman pag sinabi nating activities? So, activities in curriculum map, ito yung task or exercise designed to engage students in learning the content and achieving the specified learning outcomes. So, ano ba yung purpose ng activities? So, activities are hands-on task, ano ba yung projects, ano ba yung exercise that reinforce learning para ma-promote natin yung active participation sa students and provide opportunities for students to apply their knowledge. So, example natin is yung mga group discussion, experiments, simulation, group projects, presentation, or any kind of interactive task that will support the learning's objectives. Okay, ano ba yung outcomes of these activities? Intended to enhance understanding, to encourage critical thinking sa mga estudyante, to foster collaboration, and also to facilitate the application of knowledge in real-world context. Kailangan, kapag po tayo ang magbibigay ng mga activities, kailangan mas magandang nakapokus po tayo sa activities na maa-apply nila in real world. Okay, in reality. Ayan. So, the last one we have institutional core values. So, makikita natin dyan, competence, collaboration, communication, creativity. Ayan. So, ayan po ay makukuha natin. Ano ba yung core values ng school na inyo pong pinanggalingan? Ayan. So, again, we have topic, quarter, content standard, and performance standard ay magmumula po doon po sa book or references po ninyo. Learning competencies, dito na po kayo magpapacking and unpacking ng mga objectives. Ayan. Assessment, ayan. Ano ba yung activities na maaaring magpa-enhance ng kakayahan ng bata? Activities, ano yung resources, saan ba nanggaling yung activities, saan tayo kumuha, ano yung mga link, ayan, ano ba yung website na kinuhanan natin na activities, and institutional core values, ano ba yung mga core values na maaring mahubog sa mga bata, or ano yung karakteristik na maaring makuha ng bata doon sa mga itinuro natin. Ayan, alright, so those are the example of a curriculum map for subject matter, which is nag-specify po ako ng TLE kasi po, yun po yung ginamit namin nung umattend kami ng INSET training. So, I hope may natutunan po kayo sa akin, and thank you and God bless you.